Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Isma Siddiqui. I'm a voracious book reader and I have just finished reading the book called Best Kept Secret by Jeffrey Archer, which is the third book in the Clifton Chronicles series. These days I'm reading that entire series and it's a lot of fun. The previous book, which was called The Sins of the Father, I had already read it last year and I still reread it because I wanted to read the entire stories in the right order. So the entire series is based on three main characters: Emma Barrington, Giles Barrington, and Harry Clifton. Where in the last book we were figuring out if Harry could possibly be another sibling of the Barrington kids, but fortunately or unfortunately, we were not able to figure that out until the end of the book. And even at the end of the book, um, we ended the book on that question whether Harry Clifton would inherit the Barrington title or would he get to marry Emma Clifton, Emma Barrington. So there's a bit of confusion with both the names. Just get the idea. I'll probably just use the first names. So that's where we ended in the last book. In this book, we finally figured what happened, or not figured what happened, but we decided on what should happen, which it did. And Harry and Emma got married. But now that they're back in Britain and they don't have a war situation, they have grown up age-wise and in maturity, and they're all now figuring out what they should be doing. So Emma decides to continue with her studies, and she does some management studies in from some US-based university. She does like what is it called? A long distance correspondence course of that sort, something of that sort. And Harry continues to write stories because that's what he is, a storyteller. And Giles decides to get into politics, so he's trying to make a mark in the political scene of Britain. Their story goes on, their kids are growing up, their kids have their bit of storylines in this book, which is kind of nice. Because the kids in their own self are they're just like whole characters, and they become some great characters in the future books, but for now this is what they are, and they're kind of, it's fun to see them grow up with their own strangeness to the entire story. So far they're struggling with their basic domestic issues. Their parents are falling sick and dying. The kids are growing up. You're finding partners to live with, make commitments to live with for the rest of your life with. So basically life is moving on, and this is what the book is, which is kind of fun. It's not boring you out, and this entire story has a lot of positive characters coming in and negative characters coming in, and they're helping the story move forward. And that's what I enjoy about this book, this entire series. It's written so well that you don't get bored reading it. So even right now when I'm reading the fourth part, it's still fun and I'm not bored, and I'm still committed to the story, which is, I think, the most important thing, that especially when you're writing a series, that your reader should stay committed to the entire series and not get bored and drop off in the middle. So I'm committed to the series still, and I think Jeffrey Archer is one of my favorite authors. So if ever Jeffrey Archer is watching this, I really enjoy reading your books. And I'm going to recommend you to read this book. I'm going to recommend you to read the entire series because so far it's fun. I don't know what's going to happen at the end, but I'm enjoying it, so you should too. Subscribe to the channel, come back next week when I finish my fourth book and tell you more about it. And then I'm going to read the fifth book, which I've already read. If you've seen my previous book review, I have mentioned this already, that I have read the fifth book first, which is why I got into reading this entire series, because I want to read the sixth book. I just remember, I read this book, the fifth book, many, many years ago. So I don't really remember too much about the story, but I remember that it literally ended on a cliffhanger where someone is supposed to die. I don't remember who it is. And I want to know who, if they actually die or not. So I'll have to wait till the sixth book to figure that out. I think I'm blabbing too much, so I'll make this short. I'll cut it off now, and I will see you next week with the next book. Bye bye.